Okay, good morning everyone. This is Joe from the ranch. Today is 1st of September on a Sunday. It is 65 degrees with a high of 98 today. I'm in the upper garden. And yesterday evening, I think I made a video about the solstice. So here's the rundown for Redding. This is at this location, longitude and latitude. And the summer solstice or spring, the spring equinox is March 19th. And of course, 12 hours a day. Then the summer solstice is June 20th, as always, but it came on the 19th this year, which tells me we're going to have a bit of a different weather pattern this year, especially with all the volcanoes that are going off about 50 right now, and they're belching out SO2 like crazy. So I can't give you a tonnage because I haven't done the research for today. But summer solstice is June 20th, normally 14 hours and 52 minutes of daylight in Redding. The fall equinox is September 22nd, and of course 12 hours of daylight. And then we have a winter solstice of December 21st, and that's the shortest day of the year, and it's going to be 9 hours and 12 minutes of daylight in Redding, California. Sun is coming up. I decided to go forward with here with building the fence. We rounded up our materials. We have some gates. We have a 5-footer, one 5-footer, and these are vehicle access gates, be 12 feet wide. Each one of these gates, this gate's a 5-foot gate, that gate's a 4-foot gate, 3-foot gate, something like that. Anyways, we have to extend to the bottom of this gate another foot or 2 foot, whatever it's going to match. I forget what that measurement is right there, but anyways, when we start building it, I'll take these over into the shop. So we have and these other gates we're going to extend, because this pipe right here, this is a piece of cast iron pipe, and it fits right down in there. So that's going to be our sleeve, and then we'll make another piece that'll extend up to here, and we'll cut it. We'll cut these and have a bar go across. And then I think we have some chain link somewheres that we will use to stretch chain link back over that. So that's going to work. We have some more fencing material here. Fencing material dimensions are different than pipe and different kinds of pipe and stuff like that. So we do have sleeves that we will grind the galvanize off right there for about a 1/2 inch each direction. And then we're going to grind the galvanizing off this and off the face of it, and then we'll be able to run a bead around that and then do the same thing. And then we will run a bead all the way around. We'll leave this short. I'm thinking as I'm going. We'll leave this a bit short, and then we'll weld a bead, probably just a stitch here and a stitch there. Same on that side, and extend that up to 5 feet. I'm not into spending a lot of money. I have, when you're in the construction business, you end up with a lot of excess material. So there's our fencing. I think this was $199 for 5 foot. We're going to put a strand of wire. A strand of wire right there was $99. So we have about 300 and some change in the fencing material itself to at least make it look halfway decent. And then we have all these T-posts that we scrounged up over the years. We have a bucket of fencing material. When I owned the business park down there on Construction way back in the day, we had to have fencing material. I mean, the vagrants they were camped all around there, and we did battle with them. We got them out of there, but they would come in the middle of the night, and anywhere where there's any of those what people call homeless, they're not homeless, they're vagrants, and most of them are criminals. They have no regard for their fellow man or their property. So they would cut our fence, and each time they would cut our fence, it would cost me $400. They actually cut my fence like 27 times in that business park down there. So yeah, you do the math. Anyway, so I just wanted to correct that statement that I made yesterday evening about the solstice and because I was thinking of the equinox, the equal days of the year, and so I had to go back and do my little bit of research, and I already knew this stuff. I just didn't know the exact dates and the hours. But here we are in the upper garden. We finally got I had to mail off for some leeks. And these are giant leeks. Survival garden seeds. And there's the information on those. I don't think they were as Utah. So these seeds hopefully were grown in the place that they say, Providence, Utah. So I need to look up on the GPS to see what the elevation is and how the climate is, because I'm pretty sure that those seeds will survive in the same climate as Providence, Utah, if it isn't too cold there. Northern Utah gets cold. Southern Utah is like Arizona. Anyway, so it's pretty warm. So, but we do have another seed source from Manton, and I think I've already talked about that on another video. But I may have a seed packet right here. I like to leave see, there's Ferry Morris. Let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, redwood seeds right here. These are out of Manton. These seeds right here come from them folks up there in Manton, and they're a small business. And if you can, buy your seeds from small businesses. Especially those homegrown, those guys that are growing them themselves. And you always want to try to get the same climate. Like Manton's elevation ranges anywhere from 2,300 square feet to 6,000, 2,300 feet in elevation to 6,000 feet in elevation. So from what I reconnoitered, love that word, about that location is that their climate is almost the same as us here. Also, there's seed companies in Northern California, and there's quite a few of them that grow their seeds right here in Northern California, and that's what you want to look for. You want to, so that you don't have to spend 2 or 3 years to climatize your seeds to your environment, your little microclimate, as they would say. So I replanted our onions with those redwood onions. I have more I may have to replant because they are starting to come up, and a little bit more than they were before. But I get really impatient, and then I replant, and then I have way too much. But what I did was I went along here, by the soaker hose, and you can see these little guys are starting to come up now. So what I did was I went along the soaker hose, and Then I brought this line around here, so I got the right spacing on these, and I just want more to come up so that we can get the spacing what we need. I'm going to give them about 6 inches each, just like my garlic. So, and it's time to plant garlic too, folks. And so here's what I would suggest that you do if you want to plant garlic. Go to Costco, and Costco has those seeds that are sent from an outfit down, the garlic that's sent from down south. They pretty much have the same climate we got here, and you can break those heads apart and plant the cloves, being careful not to knock any of the paper shell off of them, right? Because then then they won't grow, they'll just rot. So and I'll do a video when I go to plant those, because we had a pretty good harvest last year. We had a lot of garlic, and I haven't really been cooking with garlic too much this year. I have a bunch of minced garlic because I ran out from last year that I got to use up first. And so I need to come up with some good garlic dishes to get rid of that stuff. But here's the taters. We cut the watering system back to every other day. We were watering every day, twice a day, and it got to where it was costing me too much money. And then I was up at the water tanks yesterday, and I found a leak up there. So that might be why my water bill was so extensively high last month. So disappointed that we have a leak. When I installed all that plumbing, I did a lot of, I really tried to make sure that all my fittings and joints were all put together correctly. And I've put a lot of that stuff in over the years. And so I know what needs to be done. So sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes you just get a lot of expansion and contraction, and next thing you know, you got little leaks. Anyways, so we're going to run the fence from that corner. We're not going to attach to the shed. We're going to drive a T-post there. We're going to come across here. We're going to put a man gate right where that little knob is right there. We're going to put a man gate over on the other side too. So it's going to come over to here. We're going to install this on Monday, and then it's going to shoot up that way and go up that way. And what I might do is because we have all these water lines and telemetry lines going up to the tanks, we have a 2-inch line that comes back down and feeds all of our irrigation and our fire control for our house. And then we have a 3/4-inch line that comes from here and goes up to there where the tanks are, and it fills those tanks up with a float valve in one of the tanks. And we only needed one float valve. So I might have done a video of that. I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, so we got some more videos coming up next week. We are going to video our installation of this fence. Some of it, not all of it. It would be for a long video. So looks like everybody's doing well. These onions get a little bit bigger, and we'll thin them out and get about every 6 inches in a grid. These cantaloupe are still producing. I don't see any. I see some small ones, but I don't see any really tiny ones. And so as far as them producing, I'm thinking that maybe they're just going to end up finishing off the cantaloupes that are on here, right? And so, and these cantaloupes right here aren't as sweet as the Tuscan we have down below. Those are so much better than these up here. So Tuscan is what I got last year, and what I will do, or this year, and what I will do is I will get those seeds from those melons, and just like always, we will climatize these seeds to our environment, and we will continue to keep that strain going. Not this one, but the Tuscan down below, because these weren't as good as the Tuscan. The Tuscan were just as sweet and delicious as they could be for a melon in the cantaloupe family. Fruit trees are doing good. I mean, citrus, they're doing well. We have a lot of limes. We're going to have a lot of lemons, provided we make it through the year. So, and then what I know about this stuff is you never count your chickens till they're hatched. And I actually was counting how many potatoes I should have got out of that, but the deer hit us pretty hard. So they ruined that crop. They also ruined, what did they ruin? Oh, they ruined my acorn squash. And that's okay, because if you're not going to have your garden protected by a fence, they're going to get in there and get it. So we are going to go 5 feet, and then we're going to go a wire strand above. It's going to be 6 feet, and that's going to be that for this little garden. I am not really thrilled about these round beds. I don't like round beds. I like the square beds better. You can lay out your grids easier than you can on a circular or oblong bed. So that's what I recommend. Square beds. Acclimatize your seeds. When you get a good strain, you want to keep that, just like your garlic. When you get a good strain of garlic, you want to stay on that strain of garlic. So this will be the second year for some of the strains that we planted, like the hardneck. And then this will be the third year of the other garlic, the stuff that we got at Costco. So that stuff right there, and you have to remember that most of our garlic that you see from Winco or the other stores, that's going to come from China. And China bleaches their garlic, and they might even spray a anti-sprout chemical on them. So, they're coming a long ways other side of the world. And so, yeah, you're going to want to get locally grown garlic, and you can buy it from the big box stores. You just have to. You just have to do your research, right? And so that's that. Now we're down here in the lower garden. And I'll probably add a little something to my weather report in the mornings. I'll probably add the length of days, right? So, and that's pretty easy to do. I have an app on my phone that has length of days on it. It's a Weather Channel. So here we have our beans are coming up. So something was eating the tops off these beans. And I'm not really sure if this one got ate, but there's 2 more beans right here. There's one here. So it looks like that whatever it was ate the tops. And when they do that, these are actually peas. When they do that, these guys will not grow if they eat the top one. And I put some poison out here for them, because of little dastardly deeds that they do. All right, so here we have, they're spaced pretty good, so I'll have to replant, or not. Maybe I won't have to. Maybe I'll just leave that. But I can put one right here in this location. I'll see there's a seed right there that rotted. Yeah, see, he rotted. So I don't know what to say about that right there. Too much water. I water those twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. Maybe it's just too much water. And then these cherry tomatoes here are going wild. I'm gonna have to, I might have to, those don't taste very good anyway, so we're probably gonna take them out. But here's something that I noticed yesterday was this yellow pepper got scalded, sun scald. So you can put little socks over those, or some old socks. You can slip them over those to keep them from getting scald. But and this had to have been, because I lifted it up and put it up here like that yesterday. So this was probably hanging down like this And if it was facing this sun coming right down through here from this angle, looks pretty good that it would scald that. So that's not a big deal. We want to avoid that if we can. But these peppers are doing real well. So we took a little extra. We did some research and took a little extra to figure out our garden plot and how much shade we would get throughout the year and how much sun. And that's why we planted them over here in these beds and that bed. So because we can put a shade cloth over that bed and protect it. So this sun in Redding is just, it is just relentless. It'll burn everything up if you let it. So, and this looks like our, once again, we have red acre cabbage, 75 to 90 days to harvest. It's an heirloom. Then I replanted in 8/15 because I didn't see anything come up in 10 days. So I did have more than I needed, and they did come up for the most part. So we have a clump here. These are about 18 to 24 inches apart. I'm gonna select whichever one is gonna be the best for my distance apart, right? And I'll take my tape measure out here and I'll measure that. Look at those mushrooms. So last winter was a hell of a winter for mushrooms, and I have never seen on this property, of course I didn't look really close, and I was studying mushrooms last winter, so I found a lot of really good edible mushrooms. And I guess up in the mountains, up around Shingletown, they had a really lot of morels growing, and a friend of mine gave me some morels, and man, are they good. I really didn't realize how good those morels were. I had forgotten, and so hopefully I'm going to be making some trips up to get some morels this winter. So everything's coming up. We had to replant right here. And I showed you a video yesterday or the day before, whatever, when I replanted these Axel's red acres. And I planted these and I flooded this. Never flood your seeds. All you want to do is dampen them. That's all. There's that little buck. I thought they had left. I don't know. He looks pretty healthy. I don't see a lot of ribs showing on him. And I can't really tell if he's eating those plums. I think he is. It looks like to me, because all them plums are gone down there. So I'm only one person, and otherwise I would have, and I can't do the work that I used to when I was younger, and I used to make wine out of those, or slivovitz, like I talked about before. And the plums are the cheapest way to ferment, because you don't have to, all you have to do is smash them up and put them in a vat. You don't have to put no sugar in it, and you don't have to put no yeast in there. Even though yeast is cheap, you just put them in there and forget about them for about 3 months, and maybe less. And you'll know, because they'll get the scum on the top of the vat, and you'll see the bubbles bubbling up. And when they stop, it's done. Then you can skim, you can skim the scum off the top, and then what's underneath is going to be some really, really good alcohol, and high alcohol content too. So, and I don't try to store that stuff. I got so many things going. I don't try to store that stuff in my mind until I start doing it again. Then I'll do the research and refresh and do it again. Anyways, so everything's looking good. So we are going into the fall. Like I said, the days are getting shorter now. We have September 22nd is going to be our equinox. So we're moving right along. Well, hello, Momo. Little Sophie, you got stickers in your tail, Mo. You got stickers in your tail. She's the mother of all those cats in there. She's been fixed. We thought we lost Mimi last night, and I was already mourning because she didn't come in, and come to find out she was downstairs. And my wife told me, you need to go downstairs and look. And I said, no, I don't. I called her and she should come, but she didn't come. So then I searched everywhere outside in the middle of the night. And come to find out, I did see a bobcat down there by the gate, though. And them bobcats, so they'll eat those cats. Yeah, they'll if they don't think that they're much of a threat, if they can get a good bite on their neck, those cats are done, and they'll be a meal. I don't know if if it was a female, the bobcat kittens should, or are they called cubs? I don't know. Anyways, I would say that they probably grown. They grow pretty fast. So anyways, everybody's looking good. We are getting a lot of cantaloupes. So anybody in my family that watches these videos that are close by, if you give me a holler, I will bring you some cantaloupes, or just stop by. So I'm going to leave these till I get ready to plant my garlic, which is going to be here tomorrow. Is a holiday. Tomorrow is Labor Day. So my friend Mike so it looks like we got one. Let's see. Oh wow, they ate it. There's three of these little bucks, and there he stands down there to do more of his dastardly deed. Little rat. He better be careful. I'll harvest his ass. Anyway, so that's all because we don't have fencing, and I really would like to put a fence around this. So I think if I get some of that netting stuff, I can do a temporary thing around these two beds right here, because I want to be able to grow stuff in these beds, like winter squashes and stuff like that. I tried to grow winter squash with the acorn squash, but those rascals. So, and these two beds are going to be garlic and leeks. So anyways, I better go back inside and get myself some breakfast. I set my coffee cup down somewhere, so I don't know where. I hope I can find it. It'll turn up. Oh, I was going to check and see if we had any melons that were fresh. Oh yeah, so check it out. The stem is already becoming dislodged. So when you go to harvest, here's how you know. And these Tuscans are really sweet. I want to recover the seeds on one of these. So when these are ripe, then you know the seeds are set inside the thing. I'm gonna have to set the camera down to get this one out. Maybe. Let me see if I can get that. Just like that. There he is. Look, he's split open. I'm beginning to see a lot of those fruit gnats around too. So, and see if this guy. Nope, he's not ready. So you don't have to push on that stem very hard. Just a little tiny bit, all right? Man, these Tuscan melons are good. I cut a bunch of them up yesterday or the day before and put them in the refrigerator. We need to eat those today before I cut any more up. But it was a combination of the garden sweets up there and the Tuscans, and so the Tuscans, and it was really easy to do a test because I put them in the same bowl and I divided the bowl up, one side with the Tuscan and one side with the sweets, and the Tuscans were by far the best out of those. So here we go. We got another one this morning. Look how thin the rind is. That's what I like, is these thin rinds. I don't like those big old thick rinds. Yeah, so we got some work ahead of us next week. Trying to get this. I do need to plant some more brassicas. I was gonna plant leeks up there, but I want to try to plant. So I have to hang on for dear life right here, because an old guy like me fall down through there. It might be the coup de grace for me. See, all you got to do is take your thumb on these and just give it a little push. If that thing's ready, that stem will pop right off of there. So yeah, I should have built this out further with my backhoe years ago. But if I wanted to bring dirt in, I could fill that draw in right there and then bring dirt right on out here through so right there where that little hump is my first leach line. So I still got room. Yeah, I really like the way these water. These are homemade. That's the way to go. Itty bitty tiny drill bit. You can have them face up like that. Just drill through the top every 6 inches and then rotate them down. Just take it and spin it down so that the water's shooting down. And I haven't thought about it. I didn't think about it, but it might be good when you go to seed too. Then you won't have to use the fisty grip. You just turn them up. And see, I have to try that. See how that works. I'll try it up there on those other beds. See how that works. Okay, so I harvested another one this morning. You don't want to leave them out here when the stem pops off of them, because the animals will get them. There's a big one right there, and they're just all over. I'm really pleased with this strain right here. I'm definitely going to keep these seeds and replant these guys, because I'll pick the biggest, fattest. Just like you do with your garlic, you pick the biggest, fattest cloves, and I will pick the biggest, fattest cantaloupe, and I will recover the seeds, and then we'll dry them out in the house, and then we'll put them in a little snack bag, and then there we have it. Put it in our collection, put the date on there, what it is, and all that stuff, so we know what strain we're getting. So around here we have so much pilfering of our gardens, and then we have the insect loss and things like that. I always like to try to double up with a backup. So that garden really up there got hit hard by the deer, and this one the deer can't get in, and the cantaloupe, I mean, that garden up there, cantaloupe, top garden cantaloupe, got hit hard by the deer, and then so we had those Tuscans to go to, and these are really, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad that I put that like that. What's in my coffee? There's something in my coffee. What is it? Freaking fly. Oh, it was one of those gnats. Got in my coffee. Well, okay. It is Sunday morning. I got to go up to after I have some breakfast, I need to go up to the tanks and start digging around and see if I can find where that leak's coming from. Hopefully it's just the float needs to be set so that the level is lower in the tanks, but we'll see. I mean, one of the things that I want to try to do here this next winter is get sprinklers up on the house. So, you know, most of your houses burn down by little fires started in the gutters. So cleaning your gutters in the summertime is really more important than cleaning your gutters in the wintertime. Both are important, but I would say that the most important is keeping your gutters cleaned out in the summertime, because that's where your fires will start. And a little ash ember will hit the roof and slide down or drop right into the gutter, and then that catches on fire. Then your shingles catch on fire, fascia board and all that stuff, because it's super dry. It's kiln dried. And so you're going to want to do her like that. Make sure it's cleaned out. Summer is more important than winter. Anyways, all right, I guess that's it. So I do need to harvest those plums down there because they're ready. And you know, they're so good and sweet, and they are crispy, right? They're crispy. They're not like a mush when you bite into some of those, like those Santa Rosas. But these are some kind of pluots. I remember when I planted those 2 pluots, but that one is a late. So you can get early peaches, spring peaches, and then you can get late peaches. So that peach tree is early. This peach tree, as you can tell, the bears really raise hell with my fruit trees. So that little tree right there, it had some really white freestone peaches on it this year, and we didn't have any last year or the year before. This is the first year it put on long peaches, and this is the first year that we were able to get any peaches out of it. Usually the animals get them before those. We had a squirrel here that was really working everything off the early peaches and plums, and he loved those pluots down there. So he was raiding that pluot tree, and I would find a little pile of seeds, right? So, you know, at least he kept them consolidated. Like, he put them in a little pile for me so that I could pick them up easily. But the deer don't do that. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's it. We've been working on this place now for a couple of years to get it up to snuff, and as if I was ready to sell, and if I made a decision to sell this place, I could list it the next day or even that day, right? Because we want to get it sold. And if I was going to do that, I would be looking for something in another state that's comparable and do like a 1095 exchange. Anyways, I think that's what it is. I don't know. I don't remember. I'd have to check with my bookkeeper. Anyways, so that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll have more videos probably when I go up to look at that tank up there and see where my leak is. Yep. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.